Kunjabi Adi Gopi Jana Balabha Girivana Dadi Gopi Jana Balabha Girivana Dadi Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachadi Yamunatira Vanachadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Adi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Adi Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Hari Vijakacharya Asta Tarasata Sisi Madhis Divine Grace Sisi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Gaura Premanandi. This little girl that sang in a string of prayers, she's little body and a big voice. Well done. When you grow up, who knows what it's going to sound like? You need an amplification system. You just strong voice. I'd like to begin this discussion about Nrsimha Chaturdasi with a little sharing of, for about 2.5, almost 3 weeks, the topic that I've been speaking mostly every evening and most mornings also, just 7th Canto Srimad Bhagavatam discussing in preparation for today. And today it is, Nrsimha Chaturdasi. Now I'm going to share some things that are going to be very different, and then a little bit longer than the plan, at least in my mind. The plan for tomorrow is going to be newer people, kind of the Sunday Feast crowd, and the people that are coming today, there may very well be some newer people, but more regulars, and tomorrow is going to be new people. So tomorrow is a shorter, newer people class. And today is a little bit longer and not just newer people class. I hope you'll be okay with that. That's the plan. Now, Nrsimha Chaturdasi, something that's found in Hari Bhakti Vilas, is the Nrsimha Chaturdasi Vrata appeared even before Nrsimhadev appeared. In fact, Nrsimha Chaturdasi existed even before there was creation. According to Hari Bhakti Vilas, Nrsimha Chaturdasi is an eternal, auspicious day. You know, like Ekadasi, it's phases of the moon. No, Chaturdasi is also phases of the moon. But the phases of the moon, Nrsimha Chaturdasi, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas, is eternal. And then Lord Nrsimhadev appeared on Nrsimha Chaturdasi, of course. So it's an auspicious day, in short. And a detail that's found in our Vaishnava literature, particularly Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Rupa Goswami, he indicates that this appearance of Lord Nrsingadev took place during the previous Manu, not the present Manu. The present Manu is Manu number 7, or Vaivasvata Manu. When we read in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, long ago I taught this ancient wisdom to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan's son is Vaivasvata Manu. That's the current Manu is Vaivasvata Manu. Out of the 14 Manus, Manu number 7. And the Manu before number 7 is number 6, and his name is Chakshusha Manu. So Lord Nrsingadev appeared the same day of Brahma, but a different Manvantar, a different Manu's cycle. It's a detail. And he is a ferocious personality. He appeared in a very unique form, in a form that's half man, half lion, because there was a benediction given by Lord Brahma that he couldn't be killed by man or a beast. So the box was checked. It's neither man nor beast. Half man, half lion. I got it really close to my mouth. You want me to... He's going to... Okay. Now, this book, Laghu Bhagavatamrita, just a little background for those of you that may not know what that title is. It's one of the writings of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami had an elder brother. The elder brother of Rupa Goswami was Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami wrote a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam that's very interesting, and I won't describe it because of time. But he named it Brihat. Big, great, powerful, Brihat Bhagavatamrita. So his younger brother wrote a different book, a different commentary on just a section of the Bhagavatam, and he called it Laghu, means light. Because my brother is Brihat, so I'll do Laghu Bhagavatamrita. I'm always looking up to my elder brother. Vaishnava, cultured. So in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, the topic is the avatars of Vishnu as he appears in this world. That's the topic. And he covers it 3 times. This, and this. In one section, he indicates from Padma Purana this phrase, Paravasta. There are different categories of avatars. One of those categories is Paravasta avatars. And there's a number of them, but 3 principal ones. And the 3 principal ones are shown in the slide here: Krishna, Rama, and Nrsimha. And what qualifies to be a Paravasta is that each of these 3 personalities, or the Paravasta forms or avatars, they have all 6 divine qualities. What are the 6 divine qualities? They're identified. They're very sensible. Knowledge of detachment, Jnana Vairagya, fullness of knowledge, fullness of detachment, fullness of beauty and majesty, Shri and Aishvarya, that makes 4, and Virya and Yasha, power and glory, or fame, Yasha. So the I'll say it again, the Paravasta category of avatars are those avatars, according to Padma Purana, that manifest these 6 fully. And then there's a further detail in Padma Purana that one is like a candle or a lamp, as that's why there shows some lamps, and from one lamp, 2 other lamps are lit. That is, one is the source, and the others are expansions of that source. Padma Purana. So there's three that fall in that category. So very special appearance days and very special personalities and very much loved by Vaishnavas. Different groups of Vaishnavas love this one and love that one and love the other one. But they're all paravashta. They're very powerful. Here's the six again. Virya, power. Yasha, fame or glory. Majesty, Aishvarya, or opulence. Shri, they're very beautiful. Now, one might not think of Lord Nrsimhadev as very beautiful, but he's very beautiful. He's very beautiful. This evening I'm not going to be showing images of, at the very end you'll see an image of Lord Nrsimhadev, but there's many. That's a lot of manys. A lot of deities of Lord Nrsimhadev all over India. They're very fascinating, very attractive, very powerful. So, beauty, majesty, power, glory, and knowledge and detachment. Jnana and Vairagya. So now let's go to the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev, and a little bit, because I've been discussing while visiting here, the prayers of Prahlad to Lord Nrsimhadev, chapter 9 of Canto 7. So, something about the life of Prahlad. And it goes back to a very nice narration, once upon a time, because all good stories start with once upon a time, right? Once upon a time, there were these four sons of Brahma, the Sananda, and Sanat Kumar, the Kumar brothers. And they were, from the very time of their birth, they were mystically powerful. They're a certain other category of avatars, Shakti-Vesh avatar. They're empowered with the Lord's Jnana Shakti. But not only had Jnana Shakti, they had mystic powers. They could travel anywhere in this world and even in the spiritual world. So they were wandering here and there, and they went all the way to Vishnu Loka. And when they reached Vishnu Loka, because this is Giant Vijay, by the way, the gatekeepers. There's 7 gates to Vaikuntha, according to Shastra, and the 7th gate has Giant Vijay standing there. Don't let unqualified people in. Unqualified people, come on in. So when they saw these 4 naked little boys, they forbade them to enter. And the 4 naked little boys scolded Giant Vijay. Being agitated by the material qualities of passion and ignorance, you are unfit to live in the shelter of Madhudvisha's lotus feet, which are free from such modes. It would be better if you go immediately to the material world and take your birth in a family of most sinful asuras. Shoo! Now these 4 naked little boys, they're naked little boys. They didn't even have a gamsha on, they just had naked little boys. As you see from the painting, the Giant Vijay were a little surprised. And when they were cursed in that way, they did take birth 3 times. There's a little more detail, but they took 3 births as demons in the earthly realm. Here's a little background. Generally, Giant Vijay were at the 7th gate of Vaikuntha, but sometimes they guarded Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha in different ways. One time in his own sleeping quarters. I mean, he doesn't need to sleep, but he, sometimes it's pastime. So Lord Narayan ordered the giant Vijay, you guard the door, don't let anybody in until I wake up. And that could be a long rest, right? The night of... Anyway, he was resting, and they were guarding. And Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, wanted to enter. They said, sorry, but we were given strict instructions not to let anyone enter. And you were like, wait a minute, I'm the goddess of fortune. Step aside. But they didn't let her enter. So when Lord Narayan woke up, they left, and Lakshmi came before Lord Narayan and said, do you know what just happened? These two fellows, you should punish them. They don't understand right from wrong. What to do? Because they did what they were asked to do, instructed to do. But, you know, sometimes husbands have to do things that their wives want, right? So he's in this dilemma, poor Narayan. Lakshmi wanted him to punish them. Meanwhile, it has a nice happy ending. Meanwhile, Jai and Vijay, being intimate associates of Narayana, they understood Narayana has a chivalrous rasa, a secondary rasa. It's a science of rasa. 5 primary, 7 secondary. One of them is chivalry. He likes a little combat sometimes, but who's going to be his combat in Vaikuntha? There's nobody. So they prayed silently. If you so desire, we can take that role. We can be in opposition to you, if you so desire, as service, because our primary rasa is dasya. Whatever you want, that's what we want. And if you want... So then this cursing of the 4 Kumaras was inspired by its super soul within, because brahmanas, qualified brahmanas, transcendental brahmanas, they don't become angry, but they became angry. It's a secondary rasa. It's a secondary rasa, inspired by super soul within, so that what Lakshmi wanted could be fulfilled, and what he wanted could be fulfilled, and what the giant Vijay wanted could be fulfilled. Check all the boxes. They're cursed to go to the material world. Mission accomplished. And the Lord could perform some pastimes. And boy, they're really nice pastimes. So, Hiranyakashipu and Hiraksha were the first appearance. Then Ravana and Kumbhakarna were the second appearance in different subsequent yugas. And Shishupal and Dantavakra in the next yuga. So they got past the gate and they got the opportunity to associate with Lord Vishnu. And very beautiful painting. There's a detailed description in the Bhagavatam of what they experienced and the opulence of Vaikuntha, and it's a fantastic description. If you meet people that want to know what's it like, just direct them to Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 3rd canto and in the 7th canto, there's this fantastic description of what it's like. And after spending some time with Lord Vishnu or Narayan in Vaikuntha, there go Jai and Vijay, descending from Vaikuntha into the material realm. In the first birth of the two was Hiranyaksha. Both Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, but the elder of the two was Hiranyaksha. So very quickly, because our focus is on the appearance of Lord Nrsingadev, Nrsinga Chaturdasi, but it's helpful to understand the dynamic and his dear elder brother, Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha wanted to do some nice service for his brother, so he wanted to gather gold. So he started digging tunnels in the earth. And by digging tunnels in the earth, the balance of the earth and the planetary systems was sent a kilter. And it plunged to the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean. And when it plunged to the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma became perplexed what to do. because he built the universe. And there goes one of the planets just plunged into the bottom of the Garbhodak Ocean. What to do? So as he was contemplating like this, from one of his nostrils came a very tiny creature, Lord Varaha. And he became not just a tiny creature, became a really big creature. Huge, gigantic form, bigger and bigger and bigger. As gigantic as a great elephant, and he plunged into the Garbhodak Ocean using his hoofs. That's a very nice description. Using his hoofs to break the water, and went down and down and down, and using his tusks, because apparently at the bottom of the Garbhodak Ocean it's not nice. So he used his tusks to lift the Earth planet, and as he was lifting the Earth planet on his tusks, Hiranyaksha became very disturbed. So when he became very disturbed, Hiranyaksha came and challenged him. Exactly what Lord Narayana wanted, a little combat, right? Some chivalry. So there was a big battle, long description, and sometimes Lord Varaha would play with him this way, that way, the other way. Sometimes the club would fall from his hand, and so many nice things to inspire his opponent. And then it got to be, okay, enough of this. And with his hoof, he slapped him once on the side of the head, and that was the end of Hiranyaksha. Now, the painting doesn't show him striking him with his hoof, but that's okay. That's what the Bhagavatam says. Then you see that little ball in the lower right side, that's the Earth planet floating. And this painting shows he uses a Sudarshan chakra, but that's not what the Bhagavatam says. But Hiranyaksha was finished. So when his younger brother, so now we're to Hiranyakashipu, when he heard that his elder brother was killed by the personality of Godhead, he became seethingly angry. Here's the description. Filled with rage. Rage? Like super anger, right? Biting his lips, Hiranyakashipu gazed at the sky with eyes that blazed in anger, making the whole sky smoky. He wanted revenge. And he knew who to go for, right? Lord Vishnu. He was married. Hiranyakashipu. He was married. The wife of Hiranyakashipu, her name was Kayadu. So there's a nice description found in Brihan Narasimha Purana of the birth. It's an interesting description. One of the places that it's found is Hari Bhakti Vilas, but the reference source is Brihan Narasimha Purana, and the history goes like this. At a certain time, Hiranyakashipu desired very much to become immortal because he was powerful and powerful and powerful. Very powerful. And he wanted to become immortal, powerful forever. So according to this particular Purana, he went all the way to the top peak of Mount Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva, and he was engaged in austerities. And the austerities were going on so intensely that the creator of the universe, Lord Brahma, became anxious. Uh-oh. And so in anxiety, even in the heavenly planets, and what to speak of the topmost planet in the universe, there's sometimes anxiety. It's not Vaikuntha. But he wants to protect. So he was in anxiety, and one of his sons, Narada Muni, saw his father in this anxiety, and he asked why. And he said, why? He said, no worries at all. It'll be taken care of. So he, Narada, and Parvat Muni, according to this Purana, they took care of it. They assumed the form of two birds. And the two birds sat in a tree just above the place where Hiranyakashipu was doing his austerities. And as they were above him, 3 times, just 3 times, they recited the Narayana mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. And that disturbed Hiranyakashipu too much. His meditation, his austerities broke. So when he got an arrow, he wanted to kill the bird, but the birds flew away. So his penance was distracted. Mission accomplished. And when his penance was distracted, he went back to his palace that night to enjoy with his queen, Kayadu. And so Kayadu asked, this is in this Purana, Kayadu asked, why'd you come back so quickly? What happened? And then while he was engaged in, had a plan to engage in austerity for 10,000 years, but he described to her what happened, these 2 birds and their chanting of this mantra. And conversation was taking the place in the midst of impregnating his wife. And as he was saying the mantra, that's when the semen of the Hiranyakashipu was released. And so the child then, according to Brihad Naradiya Purana, that's how the son was born, Prahlad, because of this circumstance. Now, he went back. So the wife is pregnant. He still didn't have his 10,000 years of austerity, so he went back to do austerities, this time to a different place. And he did, as we know, arms raised, standing on his tiptoes. And he, 10,000 years, that's a long time. 10,000 years. It's a different age, so it's a long time. And fire was coming from his head, his arms raised. The whole universe was being disturbed by this austerity. And while that was going on, the word went out to the demigods. Guess what? Hiranyakashipu, who took over Indra's palace in Indraloka, is off in the forest doing austerities. Now is our chance. Let's go invade and get back the kingdom of Indra. So in force they went. And when they went, their armies defeated Hiranyakashipu's remaining armies back in the palace, in the territory. But they found, as you see in the painting, the pregnant wife. So there's Indra saying, arrest her. And the purpose was to keep her in custody until the child was born, because in her womb is Hiranyakashipu Jr. And when the child is born, we'll kill him. But when all that was going on, as you see from the painting, Narada Muni has this uncanny way of knowing when to show up at the right time and say the right things and, know the whole circumstance. So he stopped them and said, don't arrest her and don't kill the child in her womb. The child that's in her womb is a very elevated personality. Turn her over to my custody and I'll see that everything is made very nice. And so when that happened, here's 2 paintings or 2 drawings that show the same thing. Narada, took her to his ashram. Now it doesn't say where the ashram was. He apparently has more than one ashram. But the austerities went on for a long time. This was one of your questions. 10,000 years. Of course, there are different Puranas and different accounts of how long, but so she made a request of Narada. The request that she made of Narada was that the child not be born until her husband came back from the forest with his austerities completed. So he granted that benediction, and for a long time he instructed her in spiritual knowledge. And she forgot things when she went back to be with Hiranyakashipu. Being in his association, she forgot. what she had heard. But it went in because it wasn't lost, but she forgot. It became covered over. But the child within her womb didn't forget. So that's how Prahlad became like a pristine devotee. Meanwhile, Hiranyakashipu was off in the forest, and built around him was this anthill, and Lord Brahma was just waiting for the right time to dissolve the anthill, and he, with his kamandalu, dropped water from his kamandalu, and the anthill washed away. His body that was emaciated, he was circulating his life air within the hollow of his bones. This man was really austere and a little mystical, because who can do something like that? So he, Hiranyakashipu, was requested to accept the benediction for this wonderful austerity. First thing, I want immortality. Sorry, I'm not immortal. I can't give you something I don't have. Ask for something I can give you. So he, was a clever man. He asked, grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence, during the daytime or at night, on the ground or in the sky. Grant that death not be brought about by any being created by someone other than you. He didn't say you, someone other than you. Nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. He felt he was protected because he was so smart. So all of those things Lord Brahma granted. And when Lord Brahma granted, then Hiranyakashipu went back to the palace thinking, now I'm immortal. So after he came back to the palace, Prahlad was born, because the benediction was that she'd not be born until her husband came back. So when he was born, he was already like influenced or touched by the sound vibration of Narada Muni. He was a pure devotee, an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. And that wasn't very pleasing to Hiranyakashipu, because he wanted to be not a devotee, he wanted to be an asura. He wanted his son to be ruthless and demoniac like himself, so he tried to educate his son. So he tried, and he sent his son to school. In ISKCON we call Gurukula. And we say, he didn't say, but Asura Kula. He wanted his son to become a nice asura, like him. So one day, he's in the Asura Kula school, and Hiranyakashipu took Prahlad in his lap and wanted to ask him what's the best thing he's learned from his teachers. It's a natural question, friendly question. And Prahlad's reply didn't suit his father very nice. Prahlad said that the man who's engrossed in material consciousness, thinking this is mine, and this is my friend, that's my enemy, that person is never going to understand the purpose of life. He's just give up household life and go to the forest and worship Vishnu. What? When Hiranyakashipu heard this, he severely chastised the teachers. Now the teachers were sons of the spiritual master of the demons, because demons also have spiritual master. But his name was Shukracharya, a seminal spiritual master. So he knew, Shukracharya knew stuff, but he didn't know what the purpose of stuff was. So he chastised them severely. Hiranyakashipu became very angry, decided that this small boy had been polluted by some friend in school. So you be very careful, keep away people that may pollute my son, and train him up to be a nice asura. So they took him back to school. They tried to train him up to be a nice asura, but it didn't go in. he said other things. There's a whole long section of his discussion with his teachers. So then the scene changes once again. There's Hiranyakashipu placing the son on his lap. What's the best thing you've learned? And he speaks about devotional service. In case you didn't know where the 9 processes of devotional service are found, it's Prahlad to his father. Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Arshanam Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So all 9 processes, that's the best. That's the best thing I've learned. Now, he was thinking what you learned from your teacher, Shandanamarka. What's the Asura teaching that's your favorite Asura teaching? He didn't like that. He liked what he heard from Narada. And so forth and so on. And his father became so upset, he threw him on the ground. And chastised the teachers and ordered that Prahlad be killed. So he tried. You know the story. This is some little illustrations. He was to be trampled under a humongous elephant. But instead of being trampled under the humongous elephant, he ended up on his forehead. Put in a vat of boiling oil. Didn't work. And then fed to a pit of poisonous snakes, tossed off a cliff. Again, the wild elephant, pit of snakes, in fire. Nothing worked. And so when nothing worked, the Bhagavatam describes, his father became very concerned. Who is this boy? And so the result of who is this boy resulted in Shandanamarka saying, we'll take care of him. So this is not, what I just narrated is from the Bhagavatam. There's a nice reference that's from the Shringa Purana, since we're honoring Lord Nrsingadev's appearance day. It's quick. It's different. The final is, he tied him up in Naga Pasha ropes. Naga means serpent. So ropes that are serpentine, and they're tied together, they're invincible, and he threw him in the ocean, his son. And when he threw him in the ocean, Garuda came, and serpents are food for the Garuda. And so the serpents disappeared. They hid themselves. And Prahlad is unconscious, and he washed to the shore of the ocean. When he washed to the shore of the ocean, Varuna came, and he woke up Prahlad, offering respects to this little boy, Prahlad. And when Prahlad became conscious and he saw who it was, Prahlad started honoring Varuna, saying, "You are so fortunate. You always behold Lord Vishnu, who lies on a serpent bed upon your waters. Please instruct me how I can also see Lord Vishnu with my very eyes." The Shringa Purana. So Varaha said, "Oh, Prahlad, best of the yogis, pray to him in deep meditation, and he will benedict you, and certainly he'll appear before you." And he just, poof, he disappeared. Varuna disappeared. Prahlad became very sad, sorrowful, and he fell unconscious. How am I going to be qualified to meet Lord Vishnu? And then Lord Vishnu appeared in his state of sadness and eagerly wishing to see Lord Vishnu. He came. And when Lord Vishnu came, he was unconscious. And when Prahlad saw him, he again fainted. Lord Vishnu patted him, rubbed him with his hand. Prahlad was filled with astonishment and fear. This Nrsinga Purana. And he saw Lord Vishnu. He wanted to hear from Lord Vishnu. How can I attain your well-being? Lord Vishnu said, you please me so much. Please request a benediction from me. This is, before what happens with Lord Nrsingadev's appearance. Nrsinga Purana. So offering him a benediction, again, he said, I don't want anything. Then he blessed him. You can acquire anything you desire. Lord Vishnu said, I'm going to disappear now, but you'll become a great devotee. You will see me again when I appear as the one who kills Hiranyakashipu, your father, who is the scourge of all the saintly persons. And he disappeared. So that was the last attempt. Then, now we'll go back to the Srimad Bhagavatam. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, everything failed to kill Prahlad. So he was anxiety. I'm so powerful, but I can't. I just raise my eyebrows, and the demigods tremble in fear. But this little boy, nothing I can do can harm him. Chandanmarka said, we'll work him over. He's little, he's emotional, he'll get over it. We'll take care of him. So what's Hiranyakashipu going to do? So he sent him back to the Asura Kula. And he tried, Chanda and Amarka tried, but yet as fate would have it, it didn't work. And in course of time, Chanda and Amarka, Prabhupada uses the phrase, it was tiffin hour. You're all from India, so you know what tiffin hour means. It was their lunchtime, the teachers. They took a little lunch break. And when they went for lunch break, when the teachers leave a classroom, what happens? Bedlam, right? The kids want to play. So the kids wanted to play, but they looked to Prahlad because he was the one they looked up to. And they wanted him to play with them, but he went through this whole thing, which we've been discussing during this visit. And in so many, many, many ways, he expressed, don't waste your time with this prayas, go for shreyas, go for the ultimate benefit, long-term benefit of the living entity, and detailed it. And in the end, they liked his instructions. They were little boys, but they were very innocent, and they liked him very much. And there he is, chanting and dancing, and the classmates are with him chanting and dancing, and in comes Chanda and Amarka. And they screamed. And they immediately went to tell Hiranyakashipu what happened. They went to have their lunch, they came back, look at this boy. So that was it. He wasn't going to leave it to somebody else to kill the child. He wanted to kill him himself. So you know how it goes. Prahlad, where are you getting all your powers? From the same place you are, from Vishnu. Oh, Vishnu. Where is this Vishnu? He's everywhere. Oh, he's everywhere. If he's everywhere, is he in this pillar? Let him come out of this pillar and protect you. And there's different descriptions, but he smashed the pillar with his fist. And when this painting shows he smashed it with a sword. But the Bhagavatam says he smashed it with his fist. There's Prahlad pointing to Lord Vishnu, who is everywhere. And when he smashed the pillar with his fist, angry Hiranyakashipu ended up getting the worst of it. Because Lord Nrsingadev came bursting from the pillar and confronted in the assembly. There were many other persons in the assembly hall, and this is another one of the desires the chivalrous combat desires of the personality of Godhead wanting combat with someone. So Hiranyakashipu was the combat person. And so a big battle. It's a very lengthy description. This and that and the other thing. Hiranyakashipu was very powerful. But the Lord was playing him like the description is, like a cat may play with a mouse. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I've seen it. You know, the cat will bat the mouse. The mouse gets terrified and starts to run. The cat catches the mouse so he can't run away with his claws. Brings the mouse, puts the mouse in his jaw, and then drops the mouse, and the mouse is there trembling. And so Lord Nrsimhadev was playing with him. And then it became time to finish him. So when it became time to finish him, that's what he did. But he did it in all the ways that were maintaining the words of Lord Brahma, neither inside nor outside. So on the patio, or the neither inside nor outside place, neither day nor night, just like it's already past the sunset at 7:17. I checked it out. And that's right at the right time. That's when he came. You know, with neither, with all the do-nots were met. And with his nails, not with a weapon, but with his nails, he ripped him apart. With his nails of his hands. And there's many, 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 there's just a few of the many fantastic paintings of ripping Hiranyakashipu to shreds. You know, notice one of his arms is touching Prahlad's head and benedicting Prahlad while he's ripping his father apart. And then when his father was ripped apart, all the soldiers that were his buddies or his assistants, they came rushing. And Lord Nrsimhadev looked closely at the painting. One guy's falling from the sky, and others are their bodies are dismembered, and he was roaring and very, very angry. Now here's some nice text. After Hiranyakashipu was killed, the Lord continued to be very angry, and the demigods, headed by Brahma, could not pacify him. Even Mother Lakshmi could not dare come before Lord Nrsimhadev. Then Lord Brahma asked Prahlad to pacify the Lord's anger, because he appeared for him. Prahlad, being confident of the affection of his master, he was not afraid. And so here's a very beautiful BBT painting. There's Lord Nrsimhadev up on the throne of Hiranyakashipu, and strewn bodies here and there. And there's Lord Brahma with his four heads. Behind him is Lord Shiva. There's the goddess of fortune trembling. And there's little Prahlad. And when little Prahlad came before Lord Nrsimhadev and placed his head at his feet, the Lord picked him up and placed his hand or his paw on the head of Prahlad. Immediately, his body erupted in ecstasy, transcendental knowledge, Brahma Gyan was imparted, and he was then given the power to offer the kinds of prayers that we find in chapter 9. Now here's some extras that we're not used to hearing. This is Brihat Bhagavatamrita. In the beginning I mentioned Sanatana Goswami wrote Brihat Bhagavatamrita, so his brother wrote Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So the Brihat Bhagavatamrita mentions Hiranyakashipu and Lord Nrsimhadev. Right after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev blessed Prahlad to become greater than all other devotees, past and present, including residents of Vaikuntha, including his personal attendants, even Garuda, even his beloved consort Lakshmi. Wow. He's not just way up there, he's the topmost. Here's another reference. This is different scriptural source. This is Hari Bhakti Vilas. And in Hari Bhakti Vilas, the statement is made, the Lord who is friendly only to his devotees, then sat down on the ground and put Prahlad on his lap. Gently rocking back and forth, he patted Prahlad with his lotus hand and embraced him repeatedly, as a mother embraces her child. The affection. I mean, he just ripped Hiranyakashipu and all of his soldiers, but it's a different mood, altogether different mood for Prahlad. This is from, the reference is from Brihad Narasimha Purana. It says, excuse me, Lord Nrsingadev licked Prahlad's limbs as an ordinary lioness grooms her cub. Now that not all scriptural references speak the same, but there's a nice painting. He's licking the limbs. Nrsingadev wanted to bestow benedictions upon Prahlad, but Prahlad refused. He said, "Please don't tempt me in this way. I saw my father, he had everything. He was the most powerful, this and that and the other thing. And everyone was afraid of him. But just like that, it was gone. So if you give me those things, I may become enamored by those things. So please don't tempt me in that way. Please don't do that." Then if you want to give a benediction, here's the benediction. Please give the association of saintly persons like Narada. Because in the association of saintly persons like Narada, my affinity for you will grow and grow and never be broken. Grant me pure devotion. I mean, he already has a pure devotee. Grant me pure devotion and association of such pure devotees. We're almost done. Prahlad's prayer to Lord Nrsingadev, this is from Vishnu Purana. "Oh, Master, in all the thousands of births through which I must wander in this world, please let me have unfailing devotion to you, the infallible Supreme Lord." Indicating he's not asking for liberation. He's not at all, birth after birth. Janma Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Haitaki Twayi in Mahaprabhu's teachings. Same as Prahlad's teaching, or Prahlad's aspiration. Here's Prabhupada's commentary. Prahlad Maharaj fully surrendered at the Lord's lotus feet and said, "Is everything all right?" Okay, good. "If anyone engaged in devotional service of the Lord prays for personal sense gratification, he cannot be called a pure devotee, or even a devotee. He may be called only a merchant, engaged in business of give and take. Similarly, a master who wants to please his servant after taking service from him also is not a real master." So he says, there's only one thing. You're the master, I'm the servant, there's nothing else between us. Thank you. Don't ask me to receive something from you. You're the master, I'm your servant. Please just order me, whatever you want. So he orders him. He says, Lord Nrsingadev says, "I want you to become the successor to your father. He ruled the kingdom, and now he's gone. But someone has to take that seat, and I want you to take that seat. And not only take the seat, but he had so much opulence. You accept the opulence. You don't want it. You're not going to use it for sense gratification. But opulence can disturb the mind somehow. Aishvarya can disturb the mind if you're a conditioned soul, if you're a tiny soul. So you'll be protected. Take the seat, take the power, take the opulence, but don't become disturbed by the opulence. And how? You'll be protected by always engaged in singing and chanting and remembering my glories. Bhakti will protect you. No worries. It was his benediction. For the rest, for as long as you live, accept that benediction from me. So he did. And Prahlad, little boy, he eventually became a king. He became a householder. He married. He had a son, Virochana. And so, he lived a life in the world, but not of the world. Fantastic example. Fantastic example. Same. Prahlad accepted whatever the Lord had offered him, and he prayed for the Lord to deliver his father. This is the conclusion. There's much more, but I'm going to end with this. After his father did what he did, tried so many ways to kill him, etc., 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 he wants the deliverance of his father. Wow. And the response is not only he'll be delivered, but your forefathers and 21 generations will all be liberated. So then Prahlad did the proper rituals, the Shraddha for his father, and so forth. And here he is, embraced by Lord Nrsimhadev. There's much more to say, nice topics. Maybe we'll do a little bit of it tomorrow, because I think time is up, and I'd like to honor our schedule. It's 8 o'clock. Prahlad Maharaj ki, Nrsimha Bhagavan ki, Gaur Premanandi. Now, many of us have been fasting, and you know what time it is now? Prasadam time. In honor of Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance. That the big cooking all day long in the kitchen, and so that's. I don't think we should do questions and answers. We'll just go to. Would you like to make some announcements to inform people about what they need to know? Here she comes. Can you give her the microphone? I'd like to compliment the mothers of small children that kind of kept the small children peaceful, relatively peaceful. It doesn't always happen, so thank you and congratulations.
Hare Krishna. So once again, a wonderful class, beautiful slides. Some of them I've not seen before. So a very, very big thank you to His Holiness Romapat Swami for a wonderful class. I think most of you know Maharaj. He's a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he's been practicing Krishna consciousness for over almost 50 years. And Maharaj is an initiating guru, and he travels around the world preaching. He also loves to preach at colleges, and he has visited many corporations and universities like MIT and so forth. And Maharaj joined ISKCON when he was at college. He was going to go and study medicine, and he listened to Srila Prabhupada and Prabhupada's books, and Prabhupada's spiritual master's books, and he really got attached, and joined ISKCON and gave up his medical study at university. So that's why he's very, very close to preaching at universities. Maharaj does a lot of other seva as well, but I will introduce Maharaj again tomorrow. But a big thank you to Maharaj. He's been here since Tuesday. We've had some really nice classes. classes will continue. So the second part to today's program is tomorrow, Sunday Feast program. We start with Arati at 5 o'clock, and then the class is followed by the Arati and then Prasadam. And we also have 2 more home programs tomorrow morning and then 1 Monday evening. So if you can, please join us, but please RSVP to the hosts if you can make it to the home programs. Really nice classes on Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Narasimha Dev. So please join us if you can. I'd like to give the mic to Anand Leela Mataji for just a couple of minutes. We'd like to read a message from our child protection team because it's a special day today, and we really believe that Lord Narasimha Dev was the first protector of children, as he protected Prahlad Maharaj, as we saw. So we just read just for 2 minutes, and then we'll honor the sponsors, and then recite the Prasadam prayers and take blessings and have Prasadam.
Today we celebrate the auspicious appearance day of Lord Narasimha, the divine half-man, half-lion incarnation of Lord Vishnu, who emerged to protect his child devotee Prahlad from the cruelty of his own father. Lord Narasimha's fierce yet compassionate form reminds us that divine stands firmly against injustice, especially when it threatens the innocent. This day is a powerful call to protect and cherish children, ensuring they grow in an environment of love, safety, and spiritual nourishment. Just as Lord Narasimha protected Prahlad Maharaja, may we too stand as guardians of truth and protectors of the vulnerable. May his blessings inspire strength, compassion, and unwavering protection for children everywhere. Child Protection Team, ISKCON Phoenix. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. A big thank you to Shama Moini Mataji. Hare Krishna, did somebody say something? Hari Bol, okay. So, as you know, we are very, for us, child protection is very important. And a big thank you to Her Grace Shama Moini Devidasi for helping us with that. She is our leader. And we have a team of child protection team that takes care of all the signage, everything that we need to keep our children protected. And we also have programs, and we also invite various local authorities also to teach our children how to stay safe. Nowadays it's so difficult to protect the children from online programs and so forth. So thank you, Mataji, for keeping us safe and our children safe and our community is safe also. Thank you so much. Please give her a big round of applause. I would like to thank Damodar Prabhu and Divyasham Prabhu for performing the nice yagya today for you all. Please give them a big round of applause. And I'd like to call the sponsors who are still here and receive some Mahaprasad from Dhanlakshmi Mataji from the yagya. So we have Vijaya Krishna Kola and family. Is the family here? They're not here. Then we have, please give them a big round of applause for sponsoring the festival. Then we have Dhanmantri family. I think they are here. Please come and receive Mahaprasad from the yagya. So Sanjay and Prabhu. Please give them a big round of applause. Then we have Rakesh and Mithalam, Ridon, Reya. Is the family here? They are not here. Please give them a big round of applause. We'll catch up with them later. Miglani family also sponsored the festival. Miglani family, please come and receive Mahaprasad. Thank you so much. Then we have Parikshit Priya Prabhu and Shyamachitra Devidasi. They also sponsor today's festival. Please come and receive Mahaprasad. I thought they were here. Okay. There she is, coming. Next we have Harsha and Ritikesh. Are they here? Please come in. Oh, Shama. Shobhamai Mataji. Thank you so much for sponsoring the feast. Then we have Basant and Renu Agarwal. Is the family here? Agarwal family. Please give them a big round of applause. Then we have Sushma Adhikari and family. Is Mataji here? No. Please give her a big round of applause. Ramesh Sura and family. Are they here? Ramesh Sura and family. Please give them a big round of applause. They are on their way. Maybe they are running late. Then we have Ram Prasad and family. Please come and receive Mahaprasad. Next we have Umesh Prabhu and Smita Mataji and Papatkar family. Please come and receive your Mahaprasad. I saw them. Smita Mataji, Umesh Prabhu. Umesh Prabhu, please come. Thank you so much for sponsoring the festival. Then we have Praveen Sahu and family. Please come and receive Mahaprasad from the Yagya. Praveen Sahu, Puja Mataji, please come. Next we have Umesh, Sudha and Somesh Tiwari. Is the family still here? They left, okay. Please give them a big round of applause. I'd also like to thank all the participants of the Yagya. Thank you so much. Please join us again next year. And it was really a nice Yagya, I was told. So a big thank you once again to Damodar Prabhu and Divyasham Prabhu. Please visit our Facebook page and our website for our ongoing programs, such as our morning sadhana program. We start with reading Srimad Bhagavatam and some chanting also. And then in the evening, we finish the day with reading Chaitanya Charitamrita via Zoom. So both these programs are via Zoom. In the morning, we also have YouTube. So if you cannot join us at 5 o'clock in the morning, the program will be sitting there on the YouTube if you want to join at a later time. And then we also have Srimad Bhagavatam reading at the temple. You can join in person, or it's streamed live via Facebook. And we also have Vaishnavis reading Chaitanya Charitamrita in the afternoons, Monday through Friday. And that's from 4:30 to 5:15. And our youth also read Srimad Bhagavatam on Sundays via Zoom from 2 to 3. So we have a lot of emphasis put on reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and especially Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are also reading Nectar of Devotion currently from Monday to Thursday from 7:05 to 7:30. And we are reading Nectar of Devotion. I think we are chapter 7, I believe, right now. So please join us on Facebook every day from Monday through Thursday. And our Sunday school and Hindi classes will come to an end next week, and they'll be presenting what they have learned through the year. So next week is a very important Sunday feast class. Please join us and encourage our children in what they have learned. And we are also grateful to all the parents who bring the children here, because that's so important. And our summer camp registration has begun. It's from June 2nd to June 6th. So if you have not registered, please do register online, or you can see Shivananda Prabhu here, and he'll take your names down for the summer camp, June 2nd to June 6th. And is Janardhan Prabhu's here. So our Janardhan Prabhu, he's leaving for India and Nepal tomorrow. He has not seen his family for 20 years. So please wish him well. I hope he and his family have a wonderful trip. Please come and receive Mahagarland. And his family can come here. I saw Anu Mataji and Miss Preshta. Please come and receive Mahagarlands. We never get an opportunity to honor this family. Janardhan Prabhu has been serving this temple for many, many years. He loves to distribute books. He loves puja. And he's very quiet. He gives really wonderful classes as well in the morning, Srimad Bhagavatam classes. And his daughter Preshta and Anu Mataji have also been serving the temple in the background. So We wish them well, and I hope they have a wonderful trip. And we'll see them back in about 6 weeks. Hare Krishna. I think we are going to end here. We are going to take blessings. We take blessings now, and then we'll be serving prasadam. Meanwhile, somebody can recite the prasadam prayers.
महाप्रसादि गोविंदे नमो ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यावतं राजन् विश्वासो नैव जायते जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। भगवत महाप्रसाद की जय। एकादशी प्रसाद एकादशी प्रसाद नरसिंह देव यही कुछ धोती है।
I'm going to India Monday morning. They can close, right?
But the flight is the same.
We will see tomorrow.
Only it is
Yeah, we have not 100% decided. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we are ceasefire. You can stop everything. complicate the sharing and everything. I'm not sure that is working here. Later check. Yeah, just connect this to, because this PC only has USB-C. Doesn't have it. It's already logged in, so
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
How did you connect?
Hare
How did you connect the slide?
Rama
Connected the camera.
Rama Rama Hare
Aligning with what they said,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Is it like
Krishna
so not the mixer then? Wait, not the mixer. Maybe the mixer is not
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Instead of that mixer, you can use this mixer.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Lands up some memory.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's because it's kind of slow. Also, I could barely hear. Kind of slow. I know. It's like my sister goes back to work. Also, this harmonium is so quiet. And my throat is quiet. I need to drink water. I have to drink water. Yeah, maybe he did. We're going to cause this movie again. Okay, guys. Let's sing. Let's sing Narasimha first. And we're going to sing it Vrindavan style.